Okay, you know that they say third time's the charm. This is my third attempt at Facebook Live today. So I apologize if you were following along. I am going to completely start over. I was testing out a new technology and it failed, big time failed. So I'm so sorry. So glad you're here with me today. I have had a busy morning. I had a dual sleepover, so I had to get kids fed and dressed and out of my house so I could be here with you, and so it's quiet. And I wanted to talk more with you about summer and some of the challenges that come up. And I have a reader that sent in a question that I definitely want to answer. So I apologize, Amy, if you've been watching and I've cut out on you. So if you have been following along, the last few weeks I've been talking about ways that you can make your holidays, your family vacations, and your summer as successful as possible. And we talked about things like keeping some structure, having limits on screens. We talked about all kinds of things. And I don't want to go, we talked about it in the previous video, so I'm not going to repeat everything. But screens keep coming up. I actually got another email from Vivian just yesterday about screens. And so I wanted to make sure I addressed it again and gave you some more ideas and ways to think about it. So Amy wrote in because her family got a new car this year. And with that new car came all kinds of fun features and gadgets. And one of those features is having screens in the back of the car, which is super fun when you're on road trips, right? And kids are entertained. You've got 12 hours in the car and they're set, which is fabulous. But when it becomes a habit of using these screens, it becomes a problem. So for, I think she said the first 5 or 6 weeks they had it, they not only used it on the road trip, but daily because it was new and fun and exciting. But now it's become a problem because every time her kids want to get in the car, they also want to watch a new video or finish a movie. And it has become a struggle. So a few things to think about, Amy, is setting some clear limits and rules. And this is new. This car is new, and the use of these screens are new. So I would sit down with the kids and just come up with some rules together about the new car. And I would start by asking them what they think the rules are in the car. Because if they come up with the rules, they are more likely to buy into those rules. They're more likely to follow rules they created for themselves versus those rules that you created for them. And they handle it a lot better when you remind them of those rules that they created for themselves. So I would start by sitting down and asking them what all the rules are for the car. And just start with a laundry list, as many ideas as possible, no wrong answers, and then scale it down to 3 to 5 rules. I think you need to have a clear conversation about when, where, how often, how long those screens can be used, because it will become a problem. And your kids are young, they're only 4 and 6. So now is a great time to nip it in the bud. So I would say sit down at dinner when things are light. Don't do it when you're in the car and you're in the middle of a fight. But sit down after dinner when you're having dessert or just kind of like a relaxed, mellow time and have this conversation. And maybe even post the rules up in the car, so it's that visual reminder to them, and they don't by accident break those rules or ask or turn something on that they're not supposed to. So those are a few ideas. And if you want additional help, I wrote a blog about screens and apps and technology, and in that blog post I've also included a download, which is an agreement between you and your child. So it kind of gives you some guidelines. It's a form. You can print it out and use it, or you can just use it as a guideline. But it talks about when, where, how much, how often, with whose permission. It also says what the consequences are when the agreement is broken. So that might be a great tool to use during your conversation. All right, so that, hopefully, Amy, I don't see you here right now, but if you are, I'm happy to follow up and answer some additional questions. If you're not here and you're watching it later, feel free to leave comments below and I will definitely respond. Now, Vivian had a very similar question. She said her son, who is 12 years old, she even used the word addicted to the TV, his iPod, and whatever else is available to him. Whatever screen is there and present, he is addicted. And I want to validate this for you, that it is an addiction, that the brain releases dopamine, which is kind of the love drug, or a drug that makes you feel really good when it is stimulated. It's usually stimulated by new or different or exciting activities, and using screens is definitely one of those activities. There's actually studies done where they did MRIs of children who used screens 20 hours or more a week. And they also did MRIs on people that are addicted to drugs and alcohol, and those MRIs looked very similar. So this is absolutely an addiction, and I don't want you to think that your child's just doing this because they want to drive you crazy or they don't respect you. There is actually an addiction there. So just as I had shared with Amy, I think you need to have a clear conversation with your son and your daughter. You have a younger daughter that you said is emulating some of your son's behavior. I think having a conversation with the two of them about what's being used, when it's being used, where it's being used is going to be really helpful to you. And I know that it's been a problem for a long time, so it's gonna be a little bit of work because this habit has been set up. It's not only a habit, it's an addiction, right? And those are hard to break. So I would think about what are some of the replacement activities that your children can do in lieu of using screens. So maybe they're using it to fill time when they're bored or there isn't a lot of activity. So in addition to talking about when it's not being used or how limited it's going to be used, also talk about the other things. Brainstorm together some other things, because I know during the summer there's a lot more downtime than normal. So you want to make sure if you tell them just what they can't do and you don't tell them what they can do, they're going to go right back to that thing that they can't do. So make sure you not only brainstorm those limits and boundaries and the consequences of breaking that, but also come up with ideas of other activities that they can engage in. So I just wanted to address those two questions today because it was relevant to the last two topics that I've covered. And I have another one, if you want to sneak on to the Childproof Parenting blog, there's another one about travel during the summer and setting your travel up right. I'm not going to talk about that just yet, but I want to make sure you knew it was there. I will follow up some more with all of you as questions come in. I do want to let you know two things that are coming up. Number one, I'm going to be launching a back to school boot camp starting the beginning of September. So if you feel like things have fallen apart over the summer or spiraled or just got chaotic and you need to just get back on track as a parent, this isn't about kids, this is about you, I've got a 5-day boot camp for you. So I will send more details about that in probably closer to the middle of August. I don't want to overwhelm you right now, but that boot camp will be coming out, and I'm going to be launching this fall my Childproof Parenting course for parents of school-age children. So this is for children between the ages of 5 and 11. So I know many of you have taken the Childproof Parenting course for parents of toddlers and preschoolers, which is fabulous, but I have a whole separate program, which is very similar. The foundation is similar, but it's different because it's tailored to parents of school-age kids. So two things that are coming down the pipeline. Just wanted to give you a heads up that that's coming and let you know that I'm here to support you. So please don't hesitate to send in questions, comments, feedback. If there's something that you really want to see, let me know. If there's a course that's specific to a challenge that you're having, I want to hear about that because I want to make sure I'm meeting your needs. All right, everybody, I am going to sign off for today. I apologize again about the technology. It was a total experiment and it was a fail. It doesn't mean I won't try it again. May try it one more time, but today was a fail on that end. So I'm back here using my phone to be able to Facebook Live with you, and I hope I get the opportunity to see you next week. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. Bye.